everyone, it's me again, and it's time for another thrilling edition of Comics and Cocktails, where I drink more alcohol than I rightfully need on a Friday night and talk about comics. This is like the only Friday that I'll probably be off for any of these movies. And today we're talking about Ant-Man. As you might have kind of gathered sort of by now, I'm a huge Ant-Man fan. So this movie has been kind of a issue for me. Because for those of you, we're talking about the Ant-Man movie, not the Ant-Man comic, because I'm not even going to go into how awful Nick Spencer's run is, and how awful the annual was, and no, just no. Today's cocktail is actually just hard cider, but I've had drank several more, I drank one more before this. Turns out if I make sure I'm super exhausted and haven't eaten in a few hours, then I can actually get drunk, as opposed to my normal, 5 shots of whiskey routine. So, Ant-Man movie. If you haven't been following the Ant-Man movie since it was announced, then you probably don't know a whole lot of things about it, because it, the date got pushed back, it changed directors, it changed scripts so many times. It was originally, so many things have changed over the course of this movie, and the final trailers that were coming out recently, I really hated, because, I was not looking forward to this movie at all. Because, the trailers, they were one, Scott seemed kind of like a dick, which he's not in the comics. He's, and two, making fun of oh, haha, Ant-Man, what a silly name, I mean, it's no sillier than Batman. Just let it go. I hated the trailers for this movie. I was not looking forward to it at all. But I surprisingly did not hate this movie. I mean, most Marvel films have been well put together movies. This one was probably better. This one was definitely better than Avengers 2. Probably better than the second 2 Iron Man movies. Not as good as Cap 2 or Cap 1. Not as good as the first Avengers. Not as good as Guardians. It's kind of in the middle, actually. I think I would put it in the middle. Much better than Thor 2. I don't know where I would rank it against Thor. But it was actually an enjoyable movie. There was really good humor. You can definitely tell a couple of parts that were left over from when you could see where Edgar Wright had his hand in this. Because there are a couple of parts that were kind of in Edgar Wright's style, or in a similar comedic style, and those were really good. The effects and the cinematography were amazing, which is the bare minimum I was expecting for. I just loved, they got a lot of mileage out of, Scott's shrinking powers. They did that really well. I liked Hope as a character. I would have liked to see, more women in this movie, because there were, none, except for her. But I'm angry that Janet wasn't in the movie, even though I knew she wasn't going to be in the movie, and I'm not going to give this movie, a pass as, a movie that I actually, enjoy and well, I did enjoy the movie, but I'm I'm not going to give it a, I'm not going to stop being angry about this movie unless they bring back Janet. in future Marvel movies. And they can do this because, spoilers, the way she's killed is she shrinks down and basically goes into the microverse. They don't say microverse, they just say a quantum state of reality or something, whatever. And that's how she died in the comics, and she came back from that. And Scott went down there and, like, shrunk for a while and then, like, grew back out of that. So if they don't bring Janet back, then I'm gonna, like, resume being bitter and angry about the MCU. If they do bring her back, I will be like, okay, I'll pause it. But imagine how cool that would be to have two Wasps too, like a mother-daughter Wasp team. That would be awesome. I loved the ants in this movie. They had a lot of good ant science behind some stuff. And the ants were adorable. Few ants died, and that was very upsetting. Also, sheep died. One sheep died. And that was also sad. I, saw it coming, and I was like, oh gosh. And, I did not enjoy that. Why didn't they just use a mouse? Because they were doing a science experiment, and surely mice are cheaper than sheep. I still wouldn't have enjoyed to see it. Scott's friends are all perfect. Scott's okay. Who else is in this movie? Oh, Falcon scenes were fun. It was a very lighthearted, fun movie, and I enjoy that. It even does touch on a little bit of Hank's mental illness, which I did appreciate that. I appreciate that, that bit of effort. I can't stand Michael Douglas's voice, though. Cannot stand it. Cannot. Again, I really liked Hope's character, but I don't like that Janet wasn't in the movie, and I don't like that they gave her a child, because Janet has, expressly said in the comics that she doesn't want children, and I get a little bit annoyed when people, make children for her, because, she doesn't want kids. She has no desire to have kids, and that's fine. Let it go. Don't give her children. Just stop. So I don't like the movie with all the baby Avengers. And I don't like that they replaced. They took Janet out and gave her a kid, and I could forgive this ish, except that they gave Hope and Scott this really. It's not the worst forced romance in movies, but it's, it's just a really blatant, Scott's the hero, so we gave him a hot girlfriend as a reward. And I just let it be. Don't do this. Scott has plenty of canon girlfriends you could have brought into this if you wanted to give him a girlfriend. You could have brought, Jessica Drew. You could have brought in Darla Deering. You could have brought in, Jessica Drew probably would have made more sense with this script if you wanted a subplot with romance. Or, if you wanted a subplot with romance, have Hank and Jan. A romantic couple who do romance things. And are romantic, sometimes. You could have... There's no reason not to have Janet in this movie. And you could have had basically the same movie and just swap out Hope for Janet. So there's, no reason not to have Janet, and it's just, the MCU is just fuck you guys, we're not including Janet, no matter how much sense it doesn't make. But, also I hate Michael Douglas's voice, I don't know if he sounds like that, normally, but... No. I didn't really entirely agree with their writing for Hank. He was... Like, he kind of strong-armed Scarlett into working for him. I didn't really like that. Wasn't very in character for Hank. But it wasn't so out of character that I would, like, hate Hank's portrayal in this, except for the fact that I really didn't like Michael Douglas's voice, and it wasn't as bad as, like, in some scenes it was really bad, but in most scenes I could, like, tolerate it. I just didn't want him to talk very much. Really want to see Hope as Wasp. I also want to see Janet as Wasp in future movies. Scott, I can, like, take or leave. I don't really care. Like, it doesn't anger me when he's on the screen, but it also doesn't... he's fun, but I'm not really that interested in his story. I think they should have focused way more on Scott's family issues than they did, if they wanted, like, people to, like, care about Scott, because that's always been his driving force. And there should have been, like, more Scott and Cassie, or at least more, like, a more direct connection with Cassie. Because he, like, oh yeah, this is to save the world for my daughter, when before he was always motivated by supporting his daughter and taking care of his daughter, and, you know, in Steel and Ant-Man, literally saving his daughter's life specifically, not just saving the world. It doesn't matter about the world. He's here to save his daughter. I feel like we were really missing that element from Scott. They tried to have it in there, but it didn't really work. But overall, I'm gonna have to give this movie, like, an enjoyable factor. It is enjoyable. There's some, you know, they do fun things with cinematography, which the ants are the real reason to see the movie. If you don't like ants, don't see the movie. If you do like ants, see the movie. See the movie if you like ants. Nobody cares about the human characters. Just watch for the ants. I think that's all I have to say for today. We're not going to be, like, going 20 minutes like I did for Age of Ultron. So, if you have any questions, suggestions, or requests, you can put them in the comments below, or message me on Tumblr, and that's all I have for tonight. So, bye!